What's going on, football fans? I'm Kevin Carroll. He's Joe Soprano. It is Friday, November 17th, and we are TLSportsBetting.com, your one-stop shop for everything you need for a big, happy, fun football weekend. It doesn't feel like November 17th out there, but we are still playing football. We still have some football to be played this weekend. A lot of good games on the schedule. I feel like I've been saying that every week. It's kind of a crutch at this point just to get us to where we need to go. But why don't you get us started?
I heard it's supposed to be a little chilly tomorrow at least down in State College, down in the 30s. So that'll feel like November football.
Oh, man, that is football weather.
But because it's going to be chilly, I'm not going to go to the State College for my pick this week because I don't like the cold weather.
Me neither.
I'm going down, James Madison. Yeah, Virginia. James Madison's in Virginia. I've driven by their campus a number of times on the way to my niece's house in North Carolina. So she said I better be watching this since I mentioned her. But James Madison hosting App State. It's a big game for them. Game day is going to be on campus. They're laying 9.5 points. App State is usually a good FCS team. Or are they FBS now?
They're FBS.
FBS, that's right.
FBS.
They were FCS when they beat Michigan.
That's correct.
I keep remembering that. Because the old joke was, how many AA batteries do you need to shock a Wolverine? Just one.
They're a good FBS program as well.
And they've been a good FBS program. 9.5 points is a lot to give James Madison, or a lot for James Madison to give. However, James Madison's going to be an angry football team this week, I believe. They've got their waiver turned down to play in a bowl game, which I believe is completely ridiculous. I think they're going to be looking to take that out on somebody. I think they're going to take it out on App State. I think they cover that 9.5. I don't think it's going to be, well, it'll be a challenge for them, but I think they'll definitely cover the 9.5. I look to them to win this by at least a couple of touchdowns to prove a point with national media centered on them. They want to prove that they deserve to be in a bowl game, which they absolutely do. Undefeated. They should be playing somewhere. NCAA is very short-sighted here. So take the point, or lay the points, take James Madison, and make yourself happy.
They could have been a potential New Year's 6 team the way they're going. There's only 2 undefeated Group of 5 teams. Well, if you count Liberty as Group of 5, there's only 2 undefeated Group of 5 teams out there. I think James Madison absolutely deserves to be in a bowl. They will not be going, or will they? Because you never know. There might not be enough 6-6 teams. We don't know, but
they shouldn't have to sweat that out, though.
It shouldn't. I agree with you. That was actually a game that I was considering. It made my first round of cuts when I do my board, but it didn't make the second, unfortunately. I'm glad you have them represented, though. I am going just a little bit south, I think. I'm doing the math in my head. I think North Carolina is below Virginia, right?
Yeah, because you go from Pennsylvania, then you go to Maryland, then you might go to West Virginia, then you hit Virginia, then you hit North Carolina.
It actually doesn't matter. This game's also in Virginia. I got Duke. They are 3.5-point favorites. They're on the road at the University of Virginia. Now, Duke was they were very strong to start the year. We all remember how good they were. They played Notre Dame really tough. Since then, it's been a little bit of a sputtery go because they lost their quarterback, Riley Leonard. He's been out for an extended period of time. And they've also hit a really tough stretch in their schedule. They lost to Florida State. They lost to Louisville, and last week they lost to North Carolina in double overtime. They're down to their third-string quarterback, but Grayson Schultes had 3 fourth-quarter touchdown drives. He kept Duke in that game. And like I said, tough schedule, daunting couple of weeks. Now they have to go to Virginia. Virginia's got 2 wins. They're not very good. They lost to that James Madison team we were just talking about. And I think that no matter who's playing quarterback for the Blue Devils, it's more about the run game. They have a very strong rushing attack. They're averaging about 190-some yards a game on the ground. Virginia's given up over 200 yards to 3 different teams this year. They're weak against the run, so I think it's a strength versus weakness type of matchup. And again, I think that they're just playing chippy. I know that it's tough to back a road favorite, especially coming off a double overtime game. But it was a rivalry game. I think they were really impressed with what they saw from Schultes down the stretch. It took him a while to get situated in that game, but once he did, he looked pretty good. I think he'll have a much easier time this week. It's not nearly as big an opponent. It's not nearly as big a setting. I don't know if people at the University of Virginia care about football anymore. I hope no one's watching. If you do, sorry. But I like the Blue Devils. 3.5 points, not a lot. At various points this season, I believe they probably would have been favored by double digits in this game. Obviously, with some of the adversity they've faced, it's come down. But I think it's a good time to buy back, and to back the Blue Devils.
Interesting.
And
I believe, and I might be wrong, maybe somebody can call in and tell us, but I do believe the University of Virginia is south of James Madison. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I have no idea.
But moving on to the NFL, a lot of good games in the league this week.
Yeah, it's a good board. It's a good board this week.
That Eagles Kansas City game is a monster game. Got to wonder if Travis Kelce's going to show up with it, or is he going to be off in like Brazil or Argentina or Portugal somewhere watching Miley Cyrus or whoever that woman is that he dates.
No, you act like you don't know, but you know you're putting on for the camera.
But I'm not picking that game because we know I swore off taking the Eagles.
Yes, you did.
I'm going to one of the worst games on the schedule because do we care that it's a bad game if you can make some money on it?
Absolutely not.
That's what I thought.
Absolutely not.
So Giants are getting 8.5 points at Washington. Giants are a bad football team. Their offense is in disarray. I think they got some guy that was on The Sopranos playing quarterback for him, Tommy DeVito.
Yeah.
But 8.5 points is a lot of points to give in the NFL. It's a lot of points for Washington to give. I don't think Washington's a very good football team. I don't think the Giants will win this outright. I think it's going to be closer than 8.5 points, though. So take the points. Find some other game to watch by all means. Just check on the score once in a while. But take the Giants in the points. I think that's the winner for you this week in the NFL.
It's crazy that Tommy DeVito is still playing quarterback in the league. I thought he was whacked.
Yeah, wasn't he the guy they threw off the boat?
I thought they got him in the movie.
Didn't he play quarterback at Notre Dame? Wasn't there a DeVito that played at Notre Dame?
I don't believe so. There was a Danny DeVito who looks like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Is that
that might be who I'm thinking of.
I love Danny DeVito though. No disrespect. No Danny DeVito disrespect on this program. I do have some disrespect coming though, I believe. My NFL pick, Bills and Jets on Sunday at 4:25. It's the late afternoon window. I know we're all kind of watching the Bills sputter and being like, what's going on? Josh Allen, he's always been a turnover guy. It feels a bit more pronounced this year because obviously they don't have they're not winning games. They've lost 2 in a row. You lose to the Bengals, that's one thing. You lose to the Broncos, that's cause for concern. And we saw they fired their offensive coordinator and they replaced him with a former Panthers offensive coordinator, Joe Brady. Now, mileage may vary on Brady, mileage may vary on this Bills team, but they're only a touchdown favorite at home against the Jets. I am very much back in the Bills here. I think this is a good get-right spot for them. Like I said, they fired their OC. They brought in Joe Brady was the quarterback's coach. Now he's the offensive coordinator. And that to me, no matter what you think about the move, the personnel, it shows me that they clearly are hearing the warning signs. They're clearly like, oh, something's wrong. We need to do something. So I think there will be a bit of a positive boost from that. I think Josh Allen, you kind of, like I said, you kind of know what you get with him. He does turn the ball over. He does have a low completion percentage most of the time, but he makes those plays with his legs and with his arm that you kind of just forgive him. I know the Jets defense is really good. They might be the best defense in the league. But at some point, you're going to see them start to kind of, tire, kind of wear down because they're on the field so much because their offense is terrible. They have not scored a touchdown, and this will be in the last 2 games. They did not score a single touchdown. I believe their last touchdown was in the first quarter against the Giants, which that's like 3 years ago almost. It feels like. I'm not a big fan of the Jets offense. I'm not a big fan of the Jets in general. I think I've seen a lot of people online, and this is a big part of this pick. I saw a lot of people online who are saying that, if we beat the Bills and the Raiders beat the Dolphins, which will not happen, that the Jets could be playing for first place. It feels like they're getting a little bit ahead of themselves, but this offense needs to do something quick. Garrett Wilson also ruled as questionable for this game, so even if he's playing, you don't know if he's 100%. He's really the only guy on that offense that's had any success. Breece Hall has had success too, but it's not enough. Like you can't give him the ball 30 times and expect him to score 30 times. He hasn't scored on the ground in a long time. Their only real play is throw the ball to Wilson on a slant or dump the ball off to Breece and see if maybe he could run it in, but clearly that has not been working. I think the Jets are going down. I think the Bills are still a very good team. I do think that's still their division until someone says otherwise. I think this is a good spot at home, back at home with the friendly confines of Orchard Park up there and those crazy Bills fans. They're going to be throwing themselves through tables. They're going to be lighting themselves on fire. And when the game rolls around, I think the Bills are going to roll.
No, I don't like that pick at all because the Bills took money out of my pocket, food off my table last week. I won't trust them the rest of the year either.
Well, they're going to put that food right back on your table. They're going to put that money right back in your pocket this week if you ride with me. But if you don't, you're going to fade me. Fade me. I had a pretty rough week last week. 1-3, 1-1 in this video, but 1-3 overall. If you read my column, that was in Friday's paper. If you didn't read my column, that was in today's paper. I'd like to challenge you to a duel. Your choice of weapons. I don't know. Yeah, you call me. You come find me. We can go right outside there in the intersection of Pennsylvania and Market Street there, and we'll duel. If you don't read my column, because you get 2 picks that you don't get on this video. So I don't know what you're missing out on money, guys. Do you read my column, Joe?
Every week I have to.
That's true. You do have to. You are kind of contractually obligated to do so.
But even if I didn't have to, I would.
Well, I appreciate that. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we wrap up?
I just like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and enjoy the games this weekend.
That's right. Oh yeah, we're not going to be. But when we come back here, it'll be Thanksgiving. Will have come and gone. We'll be in Christmas. That'll be Black Friday.
Yeah, we'll all be wearing those stretch pants because we ate so much on Thursday.
I cannot wait. What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish? Whether it's a main dish, side dish, whatever.
Oh, I like the turkey. How could you not like the turkey?
I mean, that's kind of a pedestrian answer, but yeah. Sure.
But we always have ice cream cake after the big meal. I always like the Carvel ice cream cake.
That's pretty good. I do like the turkey's good. Stuffing's great, but I'm pretty simple. Give me a big bowl of mashed potatoes and let me go sit on the couch and watch football. We hope we all get to do that as well. We hope you all enjoy this weekend of games. Again, tlsportsbetting.com, everything you need to get ready for this weekend, whether it's our picks here, the picks in my column, or some of our local football teams in action this weekend. A lot of them, obviously, we said the Eagles, Penn State's playing, Notre Dame's playing, the Steelers are playing. I think the Steelers are playing.
Yeah, Steelers. Yeah.
So you can get all of that here at tlsportsbetting.com. So make sure you go there once you're done watching this video. Thanks for watching, as always, and have a great day.